Good morning. This is Selena with Selena Ware Consulting. Please like, subscribe, share. Make sure you set yourself up for the notifications if you see fit. That way you can get the latest and greatest content. So, what I wanted to share with you today, talk about interviewing. Now you have the interview. What's next? So, when it comes to interviewing, that creates a lot of anxiousness and anxiety for a lot of people. What you do have to do within yourself is identify why you feel that way, right? Why do you feel nervous about it? And it's going to be different for everyone. Some of the things I've heard and I've experienced it myself is I only have X amount of time to get my point across, be brilliant, and what if I forget to say something? What if I say something the wrong way? What if someone on the panel decides that they want to be a stickler in the interview and makes it hard for me? What if I fumble over my words? I don't like public speaking, etc. So let's take a beat. One of the first things you need to do outside of an interview, which is why I exist, part of my purpose here on this earth, is you need a solid resume. It's really important to have a solid resume. A solid resume will create confidence for you. It will establish a baseline with that employer because they will come into the conversation with you, the interview with you, feeling like what you have on that paper is solid. So at this point, you almost have to talk yourself out of the job. So that's why it's important to have a solid resume to begin with. So I'm not going to harp on that because the goal of the conversation today is about interviewing and getting rid of the nerves. So one of the things that is really important to do prior to an interview, and I know this probably sounds very cliche, is you really, really need to make sure you get a good night's rest the day before. You're already going to be a little anxious, maybe even a little nervous, etc. If you feel tired, that is exactly how you'll sound. And you actually may not even be able to think as clearly as you normally would if you're tired. Even employers have made comments around some of their worst hires have happened when the person that was interviewing, the interviewer and the interviewee were tired, one or the other. So it was really important that you come in and you feel fresh and you feel calm, you feel rested. So one of the things that's important too to think about is the beauty of a mock interview. Mock interviews can be conducted with anyone you know a day or two prior from the interview. So some of the things you have to think about in an interview, regardless of the role, especially if it's the second interview or the first interview. So the first interview may be a bit surface level with the HR person. Maybe they may ask you, tell me about yourself. They're grading you behind the scenes with their calculators or whatever charts that they have, and they're comparing you to other people that they're interviewing for the same role. But needless to say, it's important that you understand what you're interviewing for. One of the things that you can do on your own prior to the interview is go out there and make sure you check out the company, understand what the culture is in the company, understand what their guiding principles are, figure out when they were founded, the company, when was it established. The culture piece will take you far because you could find a way to parlay the culture piece that's on their website into your answers, into your conversations, into why you're interested in the role. Whomever is interviewing you, first level or second level or third level, if you weave that in, they know you've done your research. So it's very important to not just wing it, not just get on some interview thinking you're just going to impress people. Talent will only take you so far. Research, attitude, and effort you can control. So make sure you do initial research about the company so that you can weave that into your conversation. Another thing, so they're going to ask you behavioral questions in some facet. Tell me about a time when something didn't go well. What did you learn from it? They're trying to see how you're thinking, right? So it's important that you're prepared for those type of answers. Make sure you state the problem. You're very concise about the problem. You state what you thought was going to happen, you state what actually happened, and then you talk about what you learned from it. That's the behavioral piece. You can apply that to just about any behavioral question. The second thing, right or wrong, this may be at the first level, this may be at the second level. They are going to probably high level ask you, like, why are you interested in this role? How does your skill set support this role? How can you contribute to this role? Don't forget to make sure you're concise about that and you think about what you're interviewing for and how your experience is going to play into that. If you don't do that, you will not get to the next round. The third thing about interviewing, when you get to the second level, most likely, it's not only going to be behavioral questions and expanded upon that, but it's going to be functional questions, like activities associated with the role you're applying for. So if you're a business analyst, they may ask you about what's your process around doing requirements documentations, what's your best skill set associated with dealing with stakeholders or people that are hard to deal with, etc. These are the functional type questions they're going to ask. So I'm saying all this because preparation is key. Preparation, going over it in your head, not sounding rehearsed, but sounding intentional and thoughtful. Those are the type of things that will take you far. So last thing I'll leave you with, my apologies, is that make sure that before you go out and you start tweaking your LinkedIn profile, which there'll be another segment about that later, make sure you have an interview. You're interview ready, and interview ready means having a solid resume, right? So if you don't have a solid resume, the moment somebody sees your LinkedIn profile, the next thing out of their mouth is going to be from a recruiter is send me your resume, right? So if you don't have a great resume, you may not even get a conversation. They might just ghost you and say, oh, okay, she looks good on LinkedIn, but that's as far as it goes, right? So having a resume is very important, and then being intentional before you start tweaking your LinkedIn profile so that it matches up. So that's all I wanted to give you today. I know that was probably a lot of information. So you have a great day. Again, if you need any help or assistance, please find me at SelenaWareConsulting.com. That's www.SelenaWareConsulting.com. There's inquiry forms out there. I'd be happy to have a discovery session with you if you want to take it a bit further and get a resume or any other type of consultation. All the information is listed out there. So you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.